Hey guys, I've been trying to make you a video this morning. I don't know, I'm having trouble with this new phone shutting off every 5 minutes, but so if you see the thing cutting, you'll know why. Excuse me. I wasn't feeling good all day yesterday, so I wasn't even basically online that much at all. And so we were driving up here to a little piece of property we have, hoping to someday put a tiny home on it. And so I was trying to tape something for you while we were driving, but it wasn't working because it taped a little and quit. But we're waiting on the survey guys right now. Obviously, we made it, you know, more earlier than they did, and they were supposed to be here earlier, but that's okay. Anywho, I wanted to talk to you about that Kerrville situation with the flooding. And the reason that I did is because so many people failed. They really did. And I guess nobody has common sense anymore. Because if y'all remember, some of you might, when I moved back to Texas after years of being gone, because I came here one time in 96 or 97, stayed 7 years, moved back to Florida. And so this time we moved back a year ago, a little over a year ago now, because my son all of a sudden developed seizures, bad seizures, and his wife had to work, so we decided we would come move out here and, you know, be around so when she was at work we could keep an eye on him. So, the first month that we lived here, and we're in Grand Saline, Texas. Yes, we are. And I love this little town, I really do. However, I'm terrified of tornadoes. Everybody knows that, I'm sure. And the first month, I believe, that we were here, there was a tornado that hit right down the street from us. Thank you God it didn't hit our place, but it was, you know, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good either. And when the siren went off, now you have to keep in mind we're like a block and a half, maybe 2 blocks away from the siren, okay? When it went off, I didn't even hear it. My husband and my son were outside because we were watching the weather because it had got so dark. And my husband opened the door and I heard it. Yeah. Barely. So I got really agitated after that because I was terrified anyway. And I wrote a letter to the newspaper and I said, look, you guys can't turn them signals down. You have got to have them on for people. Because I was afraid that something would happen like happened in Kerrville. You know, maybe there's a flood. Maybe you need to get out. Nobody told us anything. We got things from the Weather Channel saying on our phone, you know, be careful, there's a tornado in your area, blah, blah, blah. But it wasn't 1 o'clock in the morning either. Okay? It was like 4 in the afternoon or something. But the National Weather Service did alert those people from what I'm hearing. Of course, we all have to hear the rest of it. It just makes me so mad that this didn't have to happen the way it did. And being as I lost 2 daughters myself, I know what it's like to lose a child. And this just didn't have to happen. Number one, excuse me guys, I'm out here in the middle of a pasture and yeah, but anyway, yeah, I cough from allergies, I'm telling you. But anyway, the church that well, hold on babe, I'm on the video, just give me a minute. Okay. The church, from what I understand, didn't allow cell phones. I got that. We're all trying to get kids away from cell phones and computers and all this and have them do things that were, you know, that are what would you call it, that are more better for their brain, if you will. So I got that. But in that situation, somebody had to have a cell phone. Either one of the counselors, I don't know. If they didn't, that was pure stupidity. I'm going to tell you right now. But especially with Kerrville being like the flood capital of Texas, come on, guys, you know? So they failed because they should have had somebody there who had a phone. What would happen in case of an emergency? They were outside of town. I mean, what if one of the kids got hurt? You know, I always think of what if, you know. Nobody's perfect. I got that. But anyway, make a long story short, I'm not going to go through anything. All I know is one of my friends, she knows one of the kids. She had two, actually, that were missing. And she has one of the kids that they're on their way home now, thank God. But there's another one that hasn't. And they haven't found her yet that I know of. And it just chaps my ass, I'm telling you. It really does. And, you know, I know things happen. I know natural disasters happen because, number one, I'm from not from hurricane country, but that's mostly where I lived. And that's why I always say, when there's a hurricane coming, my butt was out of there. My kids had their little bag packed every year for hurricane season, okay? And that little bag went in the car, and we were gone before the 36 hours was up, because they give you 36-hour, you know, like it'll be here in 36 hours or thereabouts. Well, I was gone before that, because the first time there was a hurricane while I was in Florida, we went to go get a hotel, and they were already booked because the husband I had at that time decided he wasn't going to go. And I finally said, I'm taking the kids, you stay here, I don't care. You know, so he jumped in the car, believe me. But just to make a long story short, I don't want to keep you guys all day. And but I just think that common sense just kind of went out of this world. I don't get it. And this is what happens a lot of times when common sense goes out. First of all, they didn't have enough warning signs, supposedly, for people in this type of disaster in that town for its reputation. That's number one that I was hearing this morning. Whether it's true or not, it's alleged, okay? And the ones they did have, I don't know. They said that they didn't even know those people were out there. There was campers all over the place out there. And they did this for 100 years, from what I understand. You didn't know somebody was out there? See, that don't register in my mind, guys. I don't know. It just don't register in my mind. I don't know what's going to come of the situation. I'm just hoping that somewhere down the line they find a lot more people that are not deceased, that can go back to their families. And, you know, and I always try to think optimistic, I guess. But just pray for all the families and the kids, because I'm going to tell you, this has got to be pulling everybody's heart out. I know it's pulled mine out. So that's all we can do right now is pray. So I appreciate you guys listening. And if you live in a town that does have natural disasters, tornadoes, floods, whatever, make sure that your county is doing what they're supposed to be doing with signals. I don't give a damn how loud the signal is. That signal's got to be able to wake up people even during the night. And the things that people want to do, all this damn sleeping and shit, and this is what happens when you sleep. Keep that in mind, okay? If there's no warning system and you're complaining because you can't sleep because the whistle's going off, you're just as much to blame as anybody who didn't do their job by making sure that that place had the kind of warning system it needed. They said they didn't have the money. Really? you're going to have to think of something else for me, because I don't believe that. I don't believe it at all. So I love all you guys. Have a wonderful day. Don't mean to put a damper on your day, but I just thought that this needed to be said. I don't want people losing their life because some town decides that, well, we'll spend money on the tourism and we'll just leave the people to themselves, you know, or whatever. Just think about it. Think about it. We're supposed to have safer roads. We're supposed to have this and that. People say, oh, you know, we didn't have the money. You know what? They take the money and they use it for tourism and all kinds of bullshit. I'm not saying Kerrville. I'm talking about anybody. Anybody. I had kids in Fernandina for 16 years, and I watched them not do anything, put anything up for the kids to do during the day, or, you know, after school, or build any more parks or all that crap. All they were doing was worrying about the damn tourist, okay? That's the only time they even mowed the damn middle of the road, and that is ridiculous. So I've said my piece. I love y'all. Keep in touch.